Hi everyone, we're here. We got Maria on the phone. I've already kind of like introduced everyone to you, but how are you doing, Maria?
Oh, I'm great. The sun is shining and I'm looking at palm trees and mountains.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So we already got a lot of questions going on right now. First of all, just to get to know a little more about you, how did you actually get into producing?
So, I've always been someone that has been able to do things simultaneously, see big projects, see big picture, and then follow through on the details while delivering an end date. So I guess I was born a producer. And but in terms of producing film, that really has evolved over the last 7 years when we created the production company to create content in a visual medium. Prior to that, my background was in theater and in working with youth, where I produced, directed, choreographed, and taught young people in a theater environment.
Wow, that's really cool. So you've always kind of been into the whole like entertainment art scene.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I got my SAG card when I was 16. My mom was an actor on Long Island in New York. We were about 50 minutes outside of New York City, and my mom having a girlfriend who was a manager, she repped us, and we used to go into the city, myself and my siblings. So I've kind of been around it for a long time.
That's really cool. And so I know you help write Reach as well, right?
Yeah, I am one of the writers, along with Johnny James Fiore, who plays the role of Clarence West, and Grant Harling, who plays the role of Mr. Tony.
One of my questions would be how did you guys like start? How did you guys get the idea for Reach? Because it's such a impactful film. You know, how did you guys come up with this idea? Did it draw from real life experiences?
Yeah, so I met Johnny James Fiore through a casting call. His representation managed my son as well, and I was directing and casting a play that went up in November of 2014 called Dog Sees God: Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. And I cast Johnny as the lead in that production. And then during character development and analyzing the script and preparing for the role, all the actors, shared their personal stories and how they related to the themes in the play, which mirror similar themes that we explore in the feature Reach. And one of the things that Johnny shared during that process was about how he decided in his senior year of high school that he wanted to be inclusive and include everyone instead of, being a bully, being victimized, or just being a bystander standing by and watching it. And he did that specifically with one young kid in his senior year. It was at the beginning of the school year, and then he invited him to participate. I don't remember if it was a dance or a party, but whatever it was an inclusion, and then they had a relationship that ensued where it included during sitting at lunch, say hello in the hall, hanging out. Not that they were the best of buddies, but just acquaintances and saying hello. At the end of his senior year, this kid came up to Johnny and let him know that he had a great senior year and he owed it all to Johnny, and that he shared that day that Johnny reached out to him to include him and invite him to the party, he was actually considering going home and killing himself.
Wow.
So that's the genesis of the story. And what happened is Johnny came to me the following June of 2015 saying he had an idea and he had this character, and the character that really Johnny created was Clarence West, and it was about a friendship, and it was based on this premise. And he was already writing the story with Grant Harling, and so I got introduced to Grant through Johnny because they were already collaborating together, and then I came on as the writer. And so from June 2015 until, I want to say, December of 2016, we really were in the script phase of developing it and having staged readings and then shopping it around.
Wow, that's really cool. It's really cool when you can bring stories like this, you know, just life imitating art and art imitating life. It's really cool.
Yeah, and my Johnny Grant and I were like different ages. Johnny's the youngest, Grant's kind of like in the middle, and then I could be their mothers. But my perspective comes from the standpoint of being a parent, relating to a lot of the issues in the piece, even from my high school experience, but more so the trajectory of my involvement working with youth in the arts, and how theater is a great healer and a great sense of community for a lot of people that don't feel like they fit in. And it's also a great place for young people to express themselves in an artistic and creative way. And so that's very much in the storylines and in some of the characters in the movie.
What do you hope that people take out of the movie when they see it?
I mean, there's lots of things, but I guess the bottom line is what we've really been focused on is that it's a film that shows how powerful one gesture, one person, one friendship can be, and how that is extremely important in a young person's life, and especially in the school years, when young people are trying to figure out who am I and how do I fit in, and really the establishment of their identity is based on their personal, their self-esteem as it relates to their family, their nuclear family, the relationships with their siblings if they have, or their parents. And then it also is forming based on the environment. So it's their peers and then how they perceive themselves in relationship to their surrounding. And that's school. So, it's good to be kind. That's the bottom line.
I absolutely agree. I love it. Yeah, I know, like, when I first read the script, I was literally in tears reading it. It was just so good.
Aw, and you're so adorable and funny, and I loved what you did with your character.
Thank you. It was really fun, too, just getting to play. And Natasha, who's actually your daughter, she's so funny. She's going to be, like, the next stand-up comedian.
The two of you worked really well together on camera. Yeah, it looks good.
What was, do you think, the hardest challenge you faced when trying to produce a movie like this?
Well, for me, this was the first feature film that I produced from the beginning throughout every process and every phase. So the biggest challenge was damage control, with understanding really what everybody's value was, what they brought to the table, and then managing everyone's expectations. And then, of course, doing that within the confines of being an independent filmmaker. And when I say independent film, multi-million-dollar films are independent films. It just means that it's independent of a studio. So this is indie filmmaking. So challenges that are indicative of a lesser budget.
Wow, and it's really cool, especially that, because a lot of people really don't understand how hard it is to get something like this off the floor. Like, even to have it made is one thing, but then to have it come out is another thing. So just like the fact that, it's actually out on iTunes, I have the pre-order link up, and that it's going on to video demand is just a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's, talk about dreams coming true, and people probably will say overnight success, but I'm an old lady who's been doing this for a long time. And everything that I've done in my life, both personally and professionally, has obviously, it feels like it's prepared me for this. So, yes, to speak to your point, it's really an evolution, and it's not easy, but it is definitely possible, and I'm a testament to that. And it's possible from every phase and every aspect of filmmaking, from the idea to the script, to developing it, to raising funds, to, shooting it, filming it, doing the post, all those elements. And then, like you said, the biggest challenge is to have a creative endeavor, but then to turn it into a business proposition, which really is what filmmaking is. You have to know who your audience is, and then you have to, oh, I'm so sorry, I got a call coming in, hold on.
Okay.
And then to know who's your audience and who's going to want to watch it. So without contriving all of that stuff, this was just a story that was really close to my heart, important to Johnny, and important equally to Grant to tell. And by staying true to that, everything else kind of did fall in place.
Wow, that's really cool. I have one more question if you're still available, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that you've taken out the most? Sorry. I phrased this question wrong. Let me reread what they said. What did you take most out of, like, doing this project, I guess is what they're saying.
Personally, that anything you set your mind to do is achievable when you are committed, focused, and willing to learn from people that know more than you along the way. And that's kind of personal and professional. But so personally, just that this has been a great achievement, but it's the beginning of a lot more, and everything that's falling into place and coming to fruition, I'm really excited about. I've already written another piece, and we're starting production on that in December, which is something that was a play. It's called Pizza and Wine with an H. And then I have some other projects in my pipeline. So just believing in myself and knowing that whatever you set your mind to doing is possible. And then professionally is that everyone else that I've met who's really authentically and genuinely been drawn to this project and to me, the synergy and reciprocation of this business is really, really quite refreshing. And most people, I think we all kind of think that, Hollywood or LA is like a bunch of sharks. But the truth of the matter is there's plenty of fish in the pond, and there's plenty of water to go around for everybody. So it's not really a competitive environment. It's more of a collaboration. And I think when you embrace that collaboration creatively, magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. And I'm just happy for your guys' success. You're such a nice person, and everything you create is so cool.
Yeah. So can I plug, Chelsea?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up right now. I was just seeing if there's any other questions, but I think I got all of them. Yeah, so do you have any other projects coming up that we should be looking out for? Obviously, Reach is coming out next week, but beyond that, people should obviously follow you if you have any other stuff coming up.
Yeah, so I'm known as Cappricielli. That's the production company name. Maria Cappricielli, Maria Capp, but in terms of social media. But yeah, I mentioned it briefly. I wrote a play after my mom died last summer. I was in the middle of post-production for Reach, and very important person in my life, obviously personally, but even professionally and creatively. And so I was inspired with the initiation of my eldest daughter, Raffaella, who's also in Reach and also works with you, Chelsea. And we co-wrote a play along with my niece. And the play is called Pizza and Wine with an H, and we put it up in New York in a festival, and we got great reviews, and we tweaked it, and then we put it up at the Hollywood Fringe, and we got great reviews, and we tweaked it further. And things are happening rather quickly because we're going into production. We adapted it to the screen, and we're making another movie. So it's a holiday movie inspired by the lives of 4 young women who come together on the eve of their grandmother's wake to sing at her funeral. And it happens around Christmas. And we're a big fat Italian family, so we drew upon those experiences, and hopefully it'll be another moving piece that people will be interested and excited to see.
No, yeah, it sounds really fun. It sounds like a fun time. Those are some of the best movies. Just, family sitting around talking. I don't know why. Those always sound great.
We want you to come to the table, Chelsea.
Oh my gosh, yes, for some pizza. And then wine is spelled like W-H-I-N-E, right?
Yeah, because there's a little bit of whining going on.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about your experience and stuff. We always love to hear about that stuff. I'm going to let the chat go, but if you don't mind staying on for a second, I'll say goodbye to you off stream.
All right, my dear, thank you, and thank you to your listeners for supporting us. And if they haven't already followed, Reach, starring Garrett Clayton, Joey Bragg, Jordan Dow, Johnny James Fury, and then a beautiful, wonderful ensemble of actors. Check us out. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yes, you guys go follow them. Like, it's not only that, it's like anti-bullying month as well, and the whole thing is just like anti-bullying, and so we need more of more kindness.
Absolutely. We're definitely trying to create awareness surrounding, I think it's actually called the National Awareness for Bullying Prevention Month. I think I said it right.
Yeah, I'll have to link my, in my chat. I'll make sure that I link everyone to like all those charities and stuff that you guys are supporting as well.
Awesome, Chelsea. Thank you.
All right. Hold on one second. Bye, chat. I'll see you guys in a second. Hold on.